All right. So good afternoon, Ms. Vasquez. Again, my name is Juan Millela, and I just want to thank you so much for allowing me to come to your classroom and allowing me to observe you and give you this feedback. So thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
So, can you share your objective from yesterday?
Yes. So yesterday our objective was analyzing our Unit 1 review. Their unit exam was today, so yesterday was just a review of over what we learned during Unit 1. So that's what we worked on yesterday.
Awesome. And how do you think the lesson went?
I felt it went really well. It was very powerful. It was amazing to see and to hear the students' responses. You were there, you were seeing how like there was a lot of students with their hands up. Like that just made my heart so happy because I was a bit worried if the kids were actually understanding what we had gone over. But the fact that they were just like, miss, like that just like made my day. I feel again like that it went really well. The kids really walked out like, oh miss, like I get it now. So yeah, I felt it went really well.
No, definitely. As soon as I walked in, students were like, me. I know. And seeing that enthusiasm in someone's lesson it's amazing. So kudos to you.
Thank you.
What evidence do you have? And what teacher action impacted this outcome?
I think it's again definitely going back to like the fact that there was a lot of students who had their hands up. Really like made me feel that the lesson was going really well. As I was scanning and like monitoring the students, like their facial reactions definitely shows whether they're understanding or they're not understanding. And it was really good to see that a lot of them were understanding. I maybe had like one or two students, but when I noticed that they were like not there, I would ask them questions. And I think that what actions impacted that is just the fact that I feel I positive praise the kids a lot. And I push that culture in my classroom. We always, positive praise anyone, like we're here to help.
Correct.
And the kids know it. Like I had one student answer and I'm like, okay, so-and-so, you're their backup. Oh, miss, let me be someone's back. Okay, you're their backup and you're their backup because they get like, okay, I'm ready.
Correct.
And it's like I tell them, like everyone needs to be ready because you don't know who I'm going to call you. So I think that really kind of like pushes the kids and it gets them excited because like, hey, there's someone's backup. Like if they don't get that right, they know they're going to be able to help them. And I feel like that's definitely like the culture in my class, and that's what helps the kids, be prepared and be on it because they want to help someone else.
Correct. Awesome. And if you were to adjust the lesson, what would it be?
I think it would definitely going back to the basic. Unfortunately, because of virtual schooling, a lot of our students are missing the foundation, which is simple multiplying and dividing. So I would definitely just kind of throw in a little bit of more practice with the division. Break how to solve the problem in more basic steps. Like step 1, we do this. Step 2, we do this. Like the kids need like, what do I do first? What do I do second? So I think definitely like that's what my next steps are going to be. Is stamping and pushing like, okay, step 1, identify this. Step 2, you do this. Step 3, and that way that when the kids are taking their test, they're like, okay, I remember Ms. Vasquez said that we need to do this.
Correct. And keeping it all vertical alignment, step by step. Awesome. Cool. So yes, definitely I can definitely agree with you, having those steps so that way your low level students can master that objective. So what I have here on our next action step is for the what. I would like for you to focus on a think, pair, share. So yes, we saw a lot of students being enthusiastic and wanting to participate, but I noticed that it was their master students rather than our low students. So I feel like if we give everyone time to solve the problem, maybe that can give a little more motivation to our low students to participate. Because I did notice that when you call them one of the students, they were there in silence for about 3 minutes. And so you want to be able to move to the next problem as fast as you can. So, giving that time to think, pair up with their partners, and then share out answers. What do you think about that?
No, I agree. I think that's definitely something that I do need to start, you know, like you said, giving them their think time, but not that much think time, because I need to move on. And I think I want to start implementing that. Like, okay, if you're not sure what the answer is, check with your group. And I push to the kids, like, you know, the people that are around you, they're the people that are going to help you, you know, they're your go-to people.
Definitely.
So definitely implement that, have them, okay, you know what, if you're not too sure, ask the person next to you. You know, there's someone there that knows, you know, how to help you. Or what I typically like to do is I tell them, phone a friend. If they're not understanding, if I see, you know what, have someone help them. Like, I'll tell them, you know, phone a friend, you know, you have amazing hands up there, you know, call on somebody. And they'll choose, okay, I'll call on so-and-so. But definitely bringing it more back to them, like, seeking for help from those that are right there next to you.
Correct. Maybe like, because I saw your sitting chart, and you had like low levels, and then your approaching masters. Maybe just keeping it between this, like next to each other, because that way they can start socializing. Like, I have to talk to them, so that way I can phone them.
Yes.
So excuse me. That is awesome. Another thing that I have here is, one second, I have it here. Is how students are given independent practice. Oh, no, not that one. Here it is. What tools and resources are being used to intentionally to maximize content attainment and skill practice? See that one? Oh no, I'm sorry. I'll cut it off. So the next one is how students are organizing their class notes and referring back to it. So I noticed that students were writing the work on a blank sheet of paper, and students were writing. So this is the blank sheet of paper. Students were writing over here crooked and not following like how you want them, like step by step by step.
Yes.
And so I think having that also implemented in the lesson can help the students who are struggling. Just keeping everything
aligned. Yes, I completely agree with it. I should have set the expectation, and I did tell them, write number one, and then write it number two, number three. But I should have done more of like the making sure, like, okay, this is the way. And I did walk around, I did see, you know, making sure that they were writing, but I should have just like, you know, okay, make sure you need to write this down here instead of like all over the place, because we need to keep our notes organized.
Definitely. So those are our two whats. Our what is, we're gonna first make sure that, you know, they have their handout printed, so that way everything can stay organized in order to implement the think, pair, share. So they have it ready. They have, you know, you have 2 minutes to solve this problem, pair up, and then you have 1 minute to share. So how are we gonna do that? So first, I would like for you to have your copies ready for the classroom.
Okay.
So if you can write that down. The first one is how we're gonna have our copies ready. And our second one is think, pair, share. So we're gonna implement a cooperative learning strategy, which is think, pair, share. So how is that gonna happen? So you're gonna give students 1 minute to solve that problem, 1 minute for both partners to share, and then 1 minute to, you know, solve the problem as a class discussion.
Partners to share, and then 1 minute. What was the last one again?
To share as a class.
To share as a class.
And I feel like this will motivate also our low-level students to, you know, feel that enthusiasm that our master students felt.
Yes. And then hopefully that pushes them to like, okay, you know what, you know, maybe I can kind of do like an incentive, so that way the low kids are like, you know what, I want to get a prize, like, you know, positive praise, because that works. Like, you know, a lot of these kids love to hear that positive praise. So yes, definitely I'll start implementing that on Tuesday when we return.
Sweet.
So just to make sure that I got this correct, so have the copies ready for the students.
Yes.
Include the think, pair, share. 1 minute independently so that they can solve the problem.
Correct.
1 minute for both partners to share, so 30 seconds each, and then 1 minute to share as a class.
Correct. Awesome. Perfect. So thank you so much for again allowing me to observe you, and that will conclude our observation.
Of course. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.